Measure X is slated for 6 years based on approval, at which point it would have to be approved again by voters. If the city is spending most of that money on employees, won't it become virtually impossible to stop the next 1 cent tax increase after 6 years?
The belief and the hope is that Modesto's economy, in fact, will begin to see some recovery. We will see increased property tax assessments, and that we will be able to eventually build revenue from other sources that will make Measure X less necessary. We will never have enough money to repair our roads and to provide all the services that we want, but hopefully the need for this will decrease as our other revenue goes up.
Paul?
Right, and I agree with Mayor Whiteside. I see this as a bridge loan from the community back into the public service sector to at least start to repair some roads, to get public safety back at least to adequate staffing levels. Our current police department staffed as if we were in 1992, and we've gained some over 42,000 people in the city since that time. That is unacceptable, at least from a public safety standpoint. So getting things back in order, putting some money back in reserves that the council has borrowed from, at least will provide some measure of safety for the community at large. And I agree with Carol. I don't think we're going to need the full cent or even a half cent after the 6-year period. But again, that's a forecasting issue, and we'll just have to wait and see when we get a little bit closer to that point.
And for the balance of the time, no one has a crystal ball, and no one can predict the future, of course. But imagine if we don't enact Measure X. Where will we be 6 years from now? Further reductions in police staffing, further degradation in our quality of life, roads that are in need of repair. It's almost absurd to think that where we'd find ourselves, if you will, in 6 years. So while no one can predict accurately where we'll find ourselves in 6 years, we're all hopeful that the economic forecast will lend itself to where this is no longer necessary and we can put it to bed. If it's determined that it's not, and the city fathers need to put it back on the ballot, then so be it to the electorate. But where will we be in 6 years if this is not enacted? And that's a question that I think has a very, very scary answer. If you don't like where we're at now, imagine where we'll be in 6 years.
We have lots of bad examples around us. You know, other cities that have not had adequate resources, that have made draconian cuts, that have gone through bankruptcy like Stockton and San Bernardino and other places, that have really given up neighborhoods and parks and so on, so that people really don't go out in them. And I think it would be a tragedy to destroy the kinds of things that we all love and respect in this community for that 1 penny.
This is not a bridge loan. The people paying this 1 cent sales tax will not be getting repaid financially. They might be getting repaid in another way, but it won't be a loan. And those are the poorest people in our community. That's everyone. It's the rich and the poor, everyone alike. We also talked about staffing in the city is at 1992 levels. Well, those of us that were in the private sector remember the motto was stay alive till 95, because we thought sure by then the economy would pick up, and it did. And from 95 to 2005, city staff grew as the community grew. And in 2005, when I got off the city council, the population was approximately 202,204, something like that. Today, it's 206,000. It has not grown in this last year. So I think the city obviously shrinks and grows with the activity level. We're not bringing citizens in. We're not having construction. We're slow, and because we're slow, oh, I'm sorry.
That's right.
We're slow, city will be slow.
All right. Thank you very much.